and welcome back to the TeamMETA College Conference Spring Showdown. I, as always, will be your host, Austin, Asta, whatever you like to call me. And today we've got a doubleheader match for you up tonight. It's going to be Florida Atlantic University up against the University of Maryland in a real tough head-to-head match. And after that, we will have Nichols College up against Wichita State University, which should be another close game. These have been four teams that continue to impress throughout the circuit so far, and we can't wait to see who's going to come out ahead in each of the matches tonight. Is it going to be Florida or Maryland, Nichols or Wichita? Well, only time and these 12 players jumping into the pitch can tell. Jumping straight now into the match, FAU on the blue, Maryland on the orange, and we're straight into the kickoff. It's Bat up against Kool-Aid, and it's over towards that orange wall, finding its way now down towards Bat, but it gets hit right back over towards the opposite wall where Lom is waiting, wants to try and start taking this one away. Jake spotting it out in the corner, wants to try and fight it, successfully does, and now it's back over to the ceiling. It's Bat wanting to get this one away. He's successful, but it's still being contested over here in front of the net. It's Jake looking to try and get a shot on it. He does. It's over onto the wall, now back towards mid. Bat wanting to fight, but Cradley Bunt's not going to allow it. It's back over. Lom, it's over towards the back, and it just gets touched in. Kool-Aid, man, he manages to drop it in, and you could see the defenders trying to get underneath that one to get it away, but they end up just being a boost for it, and it ends up rolling in off the cars of the defenders. Bat wants to try and deny Jake any sort of advancement here with the ball. He's not successful, but Hendo managing just to keep him at bay over on that wall. Cradley now looking to try and steal this away. It's back towards mid. Lom, oh my goodness, so close to managing to slip that one in. It's saved there off the crossbar, and now it's back towards mid as Cradley booms it away. Hendo, it's back over into the Maryland end. Jake looking to just try and play this one out, and now it's back over. Cradley wants to try and play this one out himself, and it ends up going back towards mid. Lom, a bump back over towards the mid line, and now Jake and Kool-Aid looking just to fight this one out. Jake actually, nice backflip to manage to keep himself positioned here so that he can fight back into this, and oh, Hendo, he manages to get this one back over into the corner, but Jake still just being a nuisance here in the blue back line, not allowing this ball to get too far out of hand. Hendo wants to try and carry it away, and Kool-Aid not really looking to allow that to happen. Touches it back mid, but Bat's there, manages to touch it high. Jake watching it in the corner, wants to try and play it away, goes up to meet it, and Cradley, it ends up sending it right back over towards that blue corner. He wants to try and see if he can find his way in, and he gets a center over to Kool-Aid, man, who's 2 for 2 right now as Maryland go up to 2-0. A lot of 2s on the board here as we're about to be 2 minutes into the game, and now it's Jake firing one off himself, and that's going to be a third. 2 turns to 3, and just like that, Maryland with a hat-trick lead over FAU, and they're looking just to try and hold on to this one as Bat, the ball being forced up against his back line. He goes high to meet Jake, sorry, and Cradley managing to touch it back mid. Bat managing to boom it back over into the orange. Jake wants to try and touch this one away. Hendo follows, manages to touch it back over into the orange corner, but Jake's there to fight. Manages to back pass it over to Cradley, who's trying just to play this out immediately. Gets it straight into the Floridian corner, and now it needs to be played away. Bat, he wants to try and just air dribble this away. He manages to get it back over towards net. No, Cradley, he manages to get there just in time to deny that ball, and now it's back towards mid. Bat, he wants to try and touch this one away. Jake's there, the ball being carried up into the corner, and Kool-Aid, man, he sees it going across, but Hendo trying to set up some sort of pass there off the backboard. Lom waiting in mid, a little slow to the ball, and that's going to leave it with a lob back towards net, but it's still near, and it has to be cleared away. Cradley a miss, but Jake's there, manages to get it back to the corner. We've got 2 minutes left, and still it's FAU with nothing to the 3 goals on board right now for Maryland. Jake gonna go there and block it right up against the back line. Cradley wants to try and slip that one by, not quite gonna be able to, but Kool-Aid seeing the opportunity, chases this into the corner, manages to find it up high. He's looking just to try and do this all himself, but it gets touched away back towards mid, and Hendo now an opportunity, manages to slip it past Bat with a shot. Oh, it's just off the inner crossbar. Jake needs to try and touch it away. He keeps it towards the corner. Lom wants to fight that, a 50, and it's back towards mid. Jake, he touches it down, but Bat, is he ready for this? He is. He manages to kill it over towards towards the wall, but Jake had already chased up to there, manages to touch it back down over towards mid, and Kool-Aid, he wants to try and kill this away. He gets it over into the blue end. Lom looking just to try and set up some sort of attack, gets it back over to Bat, who fires off a shot, but it's just wide of net. Finds its way back over to Kool-Aid. Lom with the ball, wants to try and slip one in. It's over off the inner crossbar, and now Kool-Aid just looking to get it away again. 40 seconds still, and FAU, they've managed not to give up any more, but they haven't found any goals here, and as the time continues to tick lower, it's looking unlikely for them to bite back here against the Maryland lead. Bat wants to try and go through and find a shot of his own. Hendo now just chasing this ball out of his own end. Finds it over into the corner. Lom to chase. Ball up now over into the blue corner. Kool-Aid looking to center. Back over towards Min. You can hear the crowd starting to chant. That will be it. 10 seconds, 5. The time just going to tick down lower and lower here, and Maryland going to come out strong in game 1. They come away with the lead, but perhaps one goal right here at the end, and that'll be it. Lom secures one at the buzzer, but FAU still going to drop the first, and we'll hop into game 2, where Maryland now leading 1-0. Maryland with a convincing win in game 1. We head now into game 2. Are they going to get themselves up to match point, or is Florida Atlantic University going to strike back here and equalize up the scoreline, where Hendo wants to go up and get that over in front of the net? Not quite able to right off the bat, but it's still in contention as Bat wants to try and boom it away. Gets it back over into the Maryland end. Manages to get it back over in front of the net, and Lom's there. He fires off a shot, but it's cleared away on the goal line, and now Cradley Bunce, he's looking to try and get this back over into the Florida side. It's over off the wall. Hendo to chase, wants to try and slip it in, but it's not quite finding a way. No real shot back over towards that net, and now Kool-Aid needs to try and get this back towards mid. It's dropping in front of the net, but Lom, he touches it back over towards the corner. Jake wants to lob this back over. Bat knocking this back over towards the wall, and Kool-Aid now to just try and chase this away. Hendo gets it back mid. Lom bumps it back over towards the left wall. Cradley's there waiting, but Hendo, he sees this ball going up. Lom and Bat already back towards net. They want to try and touch this one away. They're able to. Jake wants to go up high and try to meet it. It goes just past him, and Lom gets it back over towards mid. Bat still here close up against the back line. Lom's here as well, but Jake blocks off against that shot. Hendo, it's a good touch back over towards that Maryland goal, and Lom trying to set up to try and play off it. Hendo drops it over in front, but Jake not going to allow Bat to have an uncontested shot. He gets it back over, bounces it over. Oh my goodness! And it gets saved off that crossbar once again. Lom gets the ball back over into the corner, but Jake and Cradley looking for a way to try and get this away. The ball almost entirely in the goal there, and Jake's still able to get it out. Maryland somehow still have not given up this first goal. Shot after shot continues to rain out though. Hendo, the ball going to find its way back over towards him. Jake wants to try and play this away. Hendo once again wants to try and see if he can play this back over towards the midline. Bat finds it, wants to try and center it up. We're about to be at the halftime mark, and we haven't seen any goals scored yet. Of course, we've seen multiple good attempts over from the Florida side that have been saved along that line from the Maryland end. And now Cradley finding the ball over towards the wall. Jake setting back up towards mid. Goes high to try and meet against it. Hendo knocking back over and sees that ball with an opportunity perhaps to play it towards the net. Finds it back towards mid. Cradley going to fire it off. Manages to get it pretty deep over here into the Florida end. Finds its way to the ceiling, and Lom just going to touch it away before anything else can come of it. Kool-Aid man chasing this ball out, finds it over towards the backboard. Hendo looking just to try and get it away, sees it back over towards Jake, manages to touch it off him, and Bat looking just to see if he can get this back over towards mid, but Lom has to go up and fight there against Kool-Aid's approach, sees that the remaining players still there trying to pressure it, and Hendo decides just to try and dribble this ball away. He gets it very deep into the Maryland end, but also just high of goal, not going to be able to drop that down into a center. We find ourselves now with 90 seconds to go, still no goals found, and this, ladies and gentlemen, could be turning out to be a one-goal game. 80 seconds left. You can see Bat wanting to try and fight that one out. Hendo and Lom, oh, they find it. Jake Tries to slip it by Cradley as well, just seeing if he can try to open something up over towards the Floridian goal, but not quite. Lom touches it back mid. Again, the ball not being allowed to leave this blue end of the pitch. Hendo wants to chase it away, manages to touch it right back over towards the mid, and that's finding its way towards net. Bat, the ball coming towards him, and Jake wanting just to try and fall back as Cradley looks to try and clear, but Lom, Bat, Hendo, they're all setting up towards mid, waiting for this. Jake, he wants to try and follow through and see if he can get it away, and the ball gonna touch off the ceiling. Cradley gonna kill, Bat to follow, manages to touch it into Kool-Aid, but he needs to try and get this back into the blue if they want to try and play this out in regulation. Jake finds it, gets it deep over back into the corner, but you can see Hendo, Cradley, they're fighting for this ball over towards the left wall. Jake finds it. Oh, he's not able to hit it inside the box though. Hendo blocking against the second shot. Kool-Aid still trying to see if he can get this one by, but he can't quite find the shot, and it's back over towards mid once again. Hendo, an opportunity, gets it back over towards the corner. Jake wants to try and chase this one out. Bat to find it, and Bat smacks it in. There's 7 seconds left, and Bat, what a miraculous play. Miraculous, heroic, whatever you want to call it, because that was phenomenal. And just like that, 3 seconds to go, the ball touches the ground, and Florida steal away game number 2 to tie it back up. Florida stealing away game number 2 right at the buzzer, and we find ourselves now into game number 3, an equalized scoreline in the series. We're gonna have to see which of these two teams will find themselves up at match point first. Bat, it's back over towards Lom, and Hendo wants to just try and fight off here against Cradley, gets corralled a bit back over, and all Lom and Hendo able to get that ball back down towards net, but it's not quite there yet. Bat, oh, manages to get it back over towards the goal. Hendo wants to try and follow through with the shot. Lom as well, but not going to be allowed to. These defenders just blocking off the key lines. It's back over. Hendo just to kill it back to the wall. Jake to follow. It's back to the corner, and Bat looking just to try and play this one away. Finds it over to the ramp. Doesn't quite manage to hit the connection. Kool-Aid Man playing a little bit far away from the ball, throwing him off a bit, and Cradley just going to steal that right off the hood of one of the FAU defenders, and now Bat managing to get this ball back over to the right wall. Wants to try and play it away. Hendo, oh, doesn't quite manage to hit the connection, and Kool-Aid drops it right in front of the net, but Lom taps it off of his own inner crossbar, saves that ball away, and you can see right now Maryland, they're just desperately trying to keep this ball an offensive commitment, because they know that if it breaks away, then it will certainly be a counterattack, and counterattack it is. Lom gets it deep over into the orange. Hendo off the corner. Jake needs to try and play this back towards mid. It's fired off, but it's just left of net. Hendo sees the ball, has it on top of him, manages to get it right back over, and Bat trying to fire it off, but not quite able to. Lom sees it back, tries to fire it himself, gets it over to Hendo, who tries himself, but it's stuck right now in the Maryland corner. Needs to try to be played away, and Hendo seeing the ball being pushed up. Bat now looking just to try and play it out. Jake, Kool-Aid not quite going to allow it to escape the blue that easily, and now Lom wants to see if he can try and get a goal here while the defenders are away. Gets it close to the net, but it goes high, and it's going to be Jake to just try and kill that away. Gets it to the corner, gets it past 2 now with Kool-Aid Man's assistance, but they are able to get it right back over to Hendo, who gets it straight in front of the net. Lom, he's there, fires off a shot, but it's blocked, and Cradley sees that this ball is trying to find its way past. Kool-Aid tries to slip it past as well, but nobody allowing this ball to break free. Hendo finds it, tries to set it up, and that one will connect. Lom fires through and drops it in from the top to get FAU the first. 2 minutes 35 left in the game, and Cradley managing to boom that one very far over into the Florida side. It finds its way past Kool-Aid, actually, as Lom looks to try and clear, and now Jake needs to try and slow this ball down. Oh my goodness, has to make a miraculous save once again along that goal line. We've seen those out of him so many times so far in the past 3 games, and Hendo, he manages to get the ball straight up in front of the net, but it's stolen away. away. Jake looking to try and strike while the iron's hot, but it's stolen away along the goal line. Kool-Aid sees the ball slipping past, and Lom not going to allow that one to float free for long. Cradley finds it again, gets it over into the corner. Hendo wants to try and play it away, but it's met in a 50. Jake trying to force the issue up here against the wall, and Lom now just going to have the ball. Has Kool-Aid though, so he needs to fight off against him to try and clear, and Jake's just waiting, receives it into the 50 and sees that this ball's now going back over towards mid. Hendo reads it, gets it to the right wall. Lom to follow, touches it back over towards the orange corner, but Jake once again just not allowing it to stay in the orange end for long. And oh, they try to pressure that, Florida. They managed to force the issue, but a demo that leaves them one offender short, and that's going to mean that this offense turns right on its head. It's back to the defense for Florida as they're forced back against their own goal, but Kool-Aid Man forced into a 50 there against the attackers, and it gets saved away. Now it's back over into their own end. Hendo finding the ball, wants to try and touch it back down towards a teammate, and Kool-Aid and Jake, they're just trying to pressure this back over towards the blue goal. They're successful, and they get it here into the blue corner. Lom needs to try and touch it away. Kool-Aid, it's a little bit far past him, and Cradley, he manages to slip it past him as well, Lom, and now with a demo on to one of those orange side defenders, there's one less person to block off against Hendo as he comes through and fires off the shot, and a very well met team play there from Florida Atlantic University leads to a second goal as they lead now 2-0. Hendo gonna go ahead and touch it there off the ceiling. Jake gonna touch it back over towards the right wall, and actually with Kool-Aid setting him up, he's able to drop it straight in. Jake, he's been hunting for a goal all game, and with the assistance from Kool-Aid Man, he's able to drop it straight inside the left crossbar, the first of two necessary to get them into overtime here in game number 3 and prevent Florida from taking the 2-1 lead. It's back towards mid. Bat looking to try and clear it away. Lom on the wall, managing to force the issue, keeps it high. Jake looking just to try and clear this away, and with 7 seconds to go, they need to try and strike fast here, Maryland. They have one last attempt. Jake with the ball wants to try and see if he can dribble it along, gets it in front of the net, but it's not quite finding its way over. Gets met there by Cradley, bunts Jake as well. They keep the ball up, but it touches the ground, and Florida take the match lead 2-1. Florida Atlantic University now sitting at match point. We hop into game number 4 where Maryland gonna have to win this one to keep themselves in the match, and Cradley manages to knock away a lightning fast shot straight off his hood, but Bat not letting up that easily, goes through for the double touch, but it's touched away by a defender in time. Lom killing it over towards the left wall. Hendo wants to try and chase this one out. Bat seeing it along the back line. Actually, all 3 defenders forced up onto that ball, and Hendo managing to get it away. Bat wants to try and meet it. Cradley as well, neither going to, but Jake finds it over in the corner. Lom just gonna stop it here along the right wall. It's back over towards mid. Bat to try and chase that one out, sees it heading back over towards mid, and oh, boomed right back over against the Florida back line, and Teddy Zio subbing in now here in game number 4, coming up huge and securing the first goal of game number 4. Sorry, almost said game number 3, but we've managed to survive this long, and Maryland now with the first goal of the game. They're just going to be looking to hold on to that one, of course add on to it if they're able to. But as long as they can maintain a lead throughout this one, they will, of course, still be in this match. They can force a game 5. Jake gonna find it back over, and oh, Teddy fires it back away, back over into the blue. Maryland now just trying to see if they can force this, but Florida getting it out of their own end, and Hendo, a wide open net, an easy flick past the only defender, and just like that, they've tied it back up. We're 80 seconds into this one, and you can already see how tense it is on the pitch. Maryland, they do not want to give this one away, and Jake sees the ball dropped off right in front of the line. Not quite able to find a way through. Lom just killing it back over towards the corner, and Teddy, he's firing this one off, manages to find a shot back down towards the net, but it's still just dropped here along the line. None of the defenders allowing this final shot to come through, and you can see Cradley, he's looking to see if he he can set something back up towards mid, and he is! He gets it back over into the mid, but instead of setting up a teammate, he decides he just wants all the glory, jumps back over, and smacks it in himself. Cradley not allowing that one to slip behind him while he waits for that boost, and now looking to try and do something here, looking to try and get it away, but Bat just applying so much pressure over here against the Maryland backline, and it's just enough to manage to allow him to get a shot over straight inside that left crossbar and secure up the equalizer. It's 2-2 now, and we're about to go over the halftime mark. Still Hendo managing to find the ball, gets it back towards mid. Lom trying to see if he can perhaps get the next lead in the game. Florida's first lead here in game number 4, but no dice. Not going to play out there over into the Maryland end. Jake seeing this ball dropped back over towards Teddy, and now going to be given right back to him as he looks to try and air dribble this one by. Teddy sees the ball, wants to try and chase it over, but now they know that only Cradley should be pushed up here. They want to fall back, make sure this ball can't find its way into an undefended orange net, and undefended it won't be. Cradley still there, needs to go up to defend against that one though, and managing to hit quite an impressive clear there just to manage to deny it and all. Teddy denying what could have easily been the leading goal there from FAU, and now into the final 100 seconds. It feels like the game's just started, but we are already here where it could be decided, and Jake gonna smack in the third. A third goal in and a third lead for Maryland, as now Florida forced once again to have to come in here and equalize this up. Otherwise, they will be going into a game 5. 90 seconds to do it. They're perfectly capable, but Cradley, he wants to try and get the lead a little bit bigger. Gets it back over, fires a shot back towards net. Teddy looking to try and set up a teammate perhaps. Jake trying to read there off it and knows that the defender's not going to allow that one to slip by. Falls back. Teddy firing a shot back off towards net. Hendo won't allow it through, meets it up in the air, and now Bat looking just to try and set up some sort of attack back over into the Maryland end. Finds it into the corner, finds it back over towards Hendo. It's lobbed back over towards this Florida Atlantic goal, and Jake tries to touch it straight down under the crossbar, but not quite low enough. Finds its way in and manages to get touched away. 40 seconds left, and Maryland still holding on to a 1-goal lead, 3-2. Teddy Zio, it's going to find its way up over towards the wall. Lom manages to touch it back into mid. Hendo chasing this one over. Teddy Zio wants to try and play that one away. Bat touching it back over, and Cradley killing it over into the orange corner. Hendo finds the ball, gets it over, but Jake going to intercept. Bat not allowing this one to slip out of harm's way yet, but it gets quickly touched away, and now Cradley wanting to try and chase this out of the corner. Jake meets him there in a bit of a bump, but somehow it ends up working out. Look at all these Maryland players locked over here into the end. Bat has the ball, gets it into the Maryland end, but this needs to be a goal. And that will do it. Teddy Zio clears it deep into the Florida end, and we tie the match back up 2-2, heading in to the deciding game. A back and forth series the whole time. We find ourselves now in game 5, where one of the two of these teams, Florida Atlantic, Maryland, one of them will be coming away the victor. Teddy wants to try and open that up immediately. Fires off a shot straight over towards that blue side net. Jake trying just to see if he'll be able to flick it past. He's not quite able to. Lom's there waiting. Cradley also waiting, just looking to try and get this out of the Maryland side as fast as they can. And Teddy, he's being bumped around over here in his own backline, but Lom now wanting just to try and set this back up over towards mid. Jake to meet, Hendo to meet, Teddy to meet, and now the ball back over towards mid. Cradley, he sees this ball. He wants to try and play it back over towards mid. Right now, we are about a minute and, well, almost a minute and a half, minute 15 deep. No goals scored yet, but that ball right along the goal line. Jake needs to try and roll it away, and roll it away he does. Out of harm's way, right away from a goal. And now it's back over towards the mid, but now back over towards the Maryland end, as this ball just getting bumped all the way back over. Jake looking to try and clear it away. Manages to touch it high. Jake once again able to kill it back over towards that net, but not able to find a shot. Bat wants to clear it out. out. Teddy meets him in the corner, and a 50 met there, and Jake, he just flies in from right over in mid, manages to keep this ball offensive. Oh, and it almost centers up, but quickly touched away. Hendo looking to see if he can open up the net, and he certainly can. Lom waiting to receive it, and smacks it straight into the left side of the box. FAU take the first goal here of game number 5, leading now. And oh, Teddy, a miraculous save there, floating there along the top of the box, managing to touch it away before that equalizer, or sorry, not the equalizer, before that second goal could be scored, and just managed to add insult to injury. Jake finding the ball directly in front of the FAU net, and you know what, I'd mistakenly said equalizer before, but this time it comes true. Jake equalizes up the match, and now Maryland right back into it. It's a tie ball game, and we've got about 2.5 minutes left to play. It's back towards mid. Teddy finds it, pass over to Jake, that's a shot, and it's in. Maryland, they didn't strike first, but they definitely struck a lead, as now they're up 2-1 with 2 goals over the one of the Florida Atlantic side. A demo over towards mid. That's going to leave one less aggressor here on the Maryland side to force this issue. Another demo coming through. This time I believe it was onto a defender on the Florida side. And now we're going to be seeing Lom trying to get this ball away. It's back over towards the box. Jake gonna fire off a shot, but Hendo denies. It's back over towards the corner. 2 minutes left to play with. Maryland leading by 1. And if they can just hold on to that 1-goal lead, then they'll come away from this match the victors. Bat sees that ball approaching, tries to go high to meet, but limited boost, has to drop off eventually. Lom now looking to try and set this back up towards mid. Hendo finds its way back over, and Teddy Zio, he sees the ball rolling over into the orange end. Lom goes up to meet, Jake goes up to meet, and the ball's still going to be offensive here over towards the Florida end, and oh my goodness, Teddy tries to take advantage of an open net, but it's not quite open, and Lom finds an opportunity to strike right into the opposite, and just like that, Florida Atlantic, they tie it back up 2-2, and Maryland, they have to try and get that lead back. Could be a golden goal situation now with 80 seconds left to play for, and if either of these teams can get that lead right against the buzzer, then they will come out of this match the victors. Jake sees the ball, sees an opportunity, touches it back towards mid. Cradley wants to try and set this up himself, wants to try and get it away, and Hendo, he's just trying to be a nuisance. He manages to keep the ball so close to that net for so long, and Jake, oh my goodness, trying to set himself up a touch off the crossbar just to leave that ball right along the goal line, but it's quickly touched away. Lom getting bullied there along the back line of the orange end, and Teddy trying to see if he can force a goal in. He can't. Bat's there to meet. Lom now looking just to try and boom it away. 40 seconds, and that golden goal opportunity, the more time passes, the more a last second goal could seal the deal for either of these two teams. And of course, we know that Florida Atlantic, after that game too, we know that they can get these buzzer beater goals, so attention definitely rising here, and especially more as the ball finds its way over into the Maryland end. Lom looking to try and set this back over into the corner. Teddy goes mid to receive. 10 seconds. You can hear the crowd counting down, and we very well might see overtime here, but Cradley bunts. It goes towards him. Bat fires it off. It touches the ground. And just like that, we are in overtime. Back towards mid. Hendo, oh my goodness, he just wants to slip it in right away, but Teddy Zio won't allow it. Kills it to the corner. Starts to dribble it away. Jake loses his life on the ceiling. And now Hendo. The ball bouncing back towards him a little too far. Excuse me, as Bat now looking just to see if he can slip this one in. Sees it back over towards mid. Sees it going back over towards the net. Lom wants to try and follow this in, but he's not quite able. Cradley bunts, able to take that deep over into the blue. 30 seconds in, and you can see it is a fight for possession right now. Both of these teams looking for that weakness in the opposing side's armor. Just the one opportunity to get the golden goal needed to come away with the win, and it's back over towards mid. Cradley gonna kill it high. Jake sees it, wants to try and force that issue. Bat, noticing the approach, wants to try and clear it away. Hendo's the one to do so, and now back over towards Teddy. He touches it back mid, manages to try touching it past, and Bat, seeing an opportunity but with too many defenders in the way, decides just to go back and play defensive. Jake approaching, Bat able to insert himself and manages to get an additional touch, and oh, the ball fired back off towards the net. Cradley inserting himself, managing to get himself in the way, wants to fire it off towards net. It's just left. Teddy to follow again. It's just left, and now it's back to the right wall. Bat looking to get it away. An orange life lost in the process, but Hendo now with the opportunity to try and work this one out. It's back to Lom, looking to try and play it over off the right wall. Hendo seeing an opportunity, goes up to meet in a 50, kills it to the ceiling, and Bat managing to touch it back over towards mid. Jake sees it, Teddy sees it, and they're both hunting just to get this ball out of the orange end of the pitch. Lom trying to find his way in front. Jake trying to flick it over. It's not going to find its way past, but Cradley bunts. He wants to try and play this one away. Lom sees it. It's going to be hit back over, and Lom once again just looking to try and get this ball away. Hendo sees it bouncing down mid. Cradley keeping it locked over into the blue. That ball centering, and oh, it's touched away. Back over towards the left. You can see just how tense it is over here against the Florida end. Shot after shot being fired off. Teddy there to follow. It's not on, but it's close, and back towards mid as Jake Cradley. They're looking for an opportunity to strike. Florida, they're just trying to hold off against the onslaught until a counterattack can be found, and perhaps it's now as a touchback towards mid. Bat tries to set up Lom. A miss, a little bit of a missed opportunity, and Jake's gonna strike. Takes advantage of it, and after 2.5 minutes of overtime, Maryland cinched the win 3-2. And we jump straight into game one. Nichols College on the blue, Wichita State University on the orange, and we're straight into the first kickoff. Tuna Sav manages to get it over to the wall. Mr. Gopher wants to try and force this over to the Nichols end as fast as possible, and Riley goes to block, but it still ends up going back towards that goal. Kui goes up, tries to get this back over. Zanova manages to touch it back mid. Gopher with the ball, fires it off, and Riley has to jump up to the top, saves it away against the top crossbar, and now Zanova, he wants to try and get that one away, not quite able to, wants to try and slip it in, and now he's going to have another opportunity, but Wild not going to allow that ball to go uncontested for long. Riley there as well, wants to see if he can find an opening. Gopher just looking to try and get it away, but with limited boost, he's kind of cut off in terms of what he can do. Qui-Gon Jim now trying to go back over, see if he can get this back over towards the opposite side, which he does. Benzanova's ready for it, but Wild also chasing that ball, wants to try and beat out against these defenders, see if he can open something up back there. Riley going to catch the ball again in mid. Zanova inserting, manages to force a 50 back over, and Tuna touches it back down over towards this left wall. Now Zanova, a touch back over towards the blue. That one's on. Riley has to clear, but an easy clear it is for the man in blue, and back over to Gopher trying to take advantage of an open situation. Riley sees Zanova firing off a shot next to the goal line and saves it away. Now Qui-Gon Jim trying just to see if there's any way to get this back over towards the net, and unfortunately they've left the goal wide open, and Wild Army Sun comes through and takes the first goal 90 seconds in. Nichols College, the first lead here in game number one, and Jim trying to see if they can slip that one in the back line. Zanova trying to read out here against Riley's clear, and it slips past Gopher. Now to boom away. Zanova as well, managing to force that back over towards net, but Gopher, he's trapped in the corner here with the ball, and limited boost means he just has to try to get this back over to Qui-Gon Jim, who's trying to play this back into the blue end. Nichols College still with the 1-goal lead, and they're trying to hold on to it. You can see how much pressure is being applied right now by Wichita State, just trying to force this issue over against the back line and really just try to punish these guys as they try to break out of their own end. Zanova, he's trying to find something here, falling back now as the last man back can't allow that goal to be uncontested. Now that's Gopher's job as Riley manages to touch it back over towards mid. Gopher goes up, manages to catch it, gets it back over into an aerial 50 actually, and Qui-Gon fires one off, and that's gonna land on the inside of the top crossbar. Just like that, Wichita State University gonna tie it back up, and we're here at the halftime mark now with a tied game. Wild, it's an early play there off the ramp, wants to just try and get it over in front of that box as early as he can. Riley as well trying to set something up. Quagon trying to get that back over centered, and Zenova's there to catch, but it's a little too far back. Can't get that back over towards net, and now there's only 2 minutes left to play with. Riley still trying to find this over towards the left wall. Gopher touches it back down. Quagon fires it off. Zenova, now the last man back, manages to get a touch back over towards the backboard. Riley, a down pass over to Tuna, trying now to chase it as this ball getting pressured over against the Wichita side. And Zenova, he needs to try and chase this one away. It's back over towards Gopher. He's just going to lob it towards the backboard, and Riley wants to play it back over towards the blue corner himself. Tuna looking to play this away. Finds it, it's back towards mid. Zenova fires one off, and Tuna can't quite find the clear. It goes a pixel above his car and slides right over his hood, finds its way into the net. And Wichita State, they've gotten their first lead of the game now with 100 seconds left. Quagon looking to try and find something to set this over towards the side, but right now it is Riley just trying to pressure now over into the Wichita end. Low boost, but manages to get a full. Now just trying to keep this ball offensive. It's back over towards the net. A demo onto a blue side aggressor means that there's one less person here to try and force this ball towards net. But unfortunately for Wichita, they couldn't really try to get that away and over towards the blue box in time. So now they're finally starting their attack. It's back over into the blue corner. Tuna manages to go up to meet it, and Wild to follow as well. It's back over towards mid. Riley chasing that one into the orange corner. Quagon wants to chase that out as well, and go for finding it in mid. Just going to be trying to dribble this away. 45 seconds remaining, and Nichols College trailing by 1. They need to try and find this equalizer before regulation runs out if they want a shot at overtime, and Riley looking for it. Manages to touch it over towards mid, but Gopher intercepts. Zenova meets there into a 50, and that's going to be a third goal. Nichols College, they put all their marbles on the field. They try to force in a goal, and it opens up their own back line, leading to a 3-1 lead now for Wichita, which, barring any outrageous errors here on the defense, will most likely seal up game number 1 for them. Riley going forward to try and block in the corner, but yeah, the ball too far over here into the Nichols end. There's no real way for this to find its way back over, and 2 goals to be secured. So that will do it. Game 1 gonna be sealed up 3-1, and Wichita State University gonna take the first of the best of 5. Wichita State University now leading 1-0 in the series. We hop into game number 2 straight into the first kickoff, and right away Tuna wants to try and force this one over towards the Wichita goal early. Riley goes up to meet against Quagon high up in the pitch, and now it's back over towards mid. Zenova trying to get a quick pass to Gopher, a little too fast. Ends up back over into the Nichols corner, and Wild gonna be able to start playing that one away. Gets it back over, and Quagon, it's gonna just smack right into the net, and just like that, Nichols College, much like in game 1, they strike first 27 seconds into the game, and now Riley, he wants to try and add insult to injury, chasing that one through mid. Zenova goes up to meet in a 50. Riley now trying to see if he can try and find a way past these defenders and back towards the net. Wild might have done that. Oh, but not quite. Quagon finds it back over towards the wall, and Tuna touches it past. It's over into the corner, bouncing down towards mid. Gopher, a touch back over into the corner himself. Riley and Zenova both trying to get that one, fighting for it, and you can see Quagon just going to take it back towards their own net to try and get it away. Riley chasing this one away, and it's back over towards mid. The ball gonna roll a little bit high from goal, but it's still very scoreable, and oh, it's just barely off. Gopher not quite able to find the inside of the box. Zenova now looking to try and get this one away, finds it back over, and Tuna tries to just slap the demo in and see if they can force these defenders out by force. Quagon tries to go through and chase down Tuna. Would have been a crucial demo to get, but luckily for Tuna, he stays alive, and that ball manages to find its way contested back over into the orange. 90 seconds gone now. Tuna Sav trying to force the issue. Gopher booming it back over into the blue side corner. Now trying to see if Riley can try and chase this one out. Tuna Sav, it's back over towards the left wall. Quigon hits it high. Wild to follow, and now finding its way back over towards the left side. Tuna Sav trying to hit it past. Gopher finds it, manages to touch it down over off the ramp. Riley to follow, finds it over high, and tries to get this passed out of the corner. But right now, it's just a fight for possession over on the right side of the pitch. Now very deep into the Nichols side, they're trying to fight for this possession, and Zenova falling back alongside Quigon. They need to try and deny these shots, and they do. Quigon even delaying that ball a little bit more so Wild can't smack it in. And just like that, it's back over into the Nichols side. Really, Wichita doing a good job at not allowing that lead to expand any further. Ever since that first goal, there have not been a ton of scoring opportunities allowed back over towards that orange net, and now they're trying to get their counterattack underway. It's back towards mid. Zenova finds the ball, and that's going to seal it up. A beautiful passing play. A pass turned into a bump. It might have been a double bump there for Mr. Gopher, as it gets that straight over towards mid, straight into the remaining two teammates, and that ball going to find its way through and into the equalizing goal. 2 minutes now to go. Found ourselves in a very similar situation here in game number 1 around this time, and it's going to be interesting to see if Nichols can try to earn that 1-goal lead back. It's back towards mid. Oh, Gopher wants to try and slip it past, but too many defenders in the way. Zenova, the only one back. Tuna trying to force the issue, and the ball finds its way in. Nichols, they've reclaimed their goal. Wichita allowing a moment of hesitation on their back line, and the ball finds its way into the box. Zenova trying to make up for it, gets the ball back over towards the box, and Gopher's gonna secure it, goes in. You could tell over on the Nichols side they wanted to try and keep that ball away, even catching it on the hood of their cars just to try and dribble it away, but unfortunately the pressure is too much, and Wichita able to force that goal in. We're in the final 100 seconds now, and Zenova gets the ball over into the Nichols corner. Riley needs to chase, finds the ball, pinches it up towards the ceiling. Gopher to follow, manages to find it up high. It's a back pass to Zenova, and oh, it's just off. It's back over towards mid. Quigon tries to get there to find a shot back towards net, but not going to be able to find it past the defenders. Tuna here on the right wall, managing to touch that ball and try to keep it offensive. And right now you can see Quigon trying to set up for Mr. Gopher, who's following, gets it past one, but Tuna's there, lobbing it back towards net. 70 seconds, and this is getting to an opportunity where 1 goal from either of these teams could be the deciding factor in this match. It's back towards mid. Tuna going up to meet, but Quigon's already there, manages to touch it back over. It's back over towards him, and now trying to get it to Gopher, who smacks it straight towards net, and the defenders try as they might. They go up to meet it, but they can't keep it away, and it finds its way inside the right box to secure up the 1-goal lead once again with 50 seconds to go. Now Riley wants to try and play this one away, finds it back over towards this left wall, and can even see here just looking to try and deny anything, but with 0 boost. Tuna Sav has to come in, but very low boost really throughout the entirety of Nichols College. Tuna, a lucky grab there onto that full pad. Going to allow perhaps a little bit of counterplay here from the Nichols College side, but with 20 seconds to go, that counterplay needs to start soon. Riley trying to get out here, manages to find the ball back towards mid, grabs a full boost, wants to try and chase this one through, but it's not quite able to find its way past the defenders. Now Gopher, the ball dropping back towards him. He doesn't hit the shot, so that leaves it to Wild, but with no boost, he's just forced to try and play it away, and with 2 seconds left, all they need from Nichols College is the ball to touch the ground, and oh my goodness, they're about to equalize the match, Riley, but the time ends, and just like that, Wichita, by the skin of their teeth, rip away a second. Wichita State University stealing away game number 2 right at the literal buzzer, and now we're going to see, can they pull off the sweep? It would be kind of heartbreaking for Nichols. They've been so close to managing to come back in this game so far. And if they do get swept here, it definitely does not reflect the level of play we've been seeing out of these 6 players so far. Mr. Gopher trying to set this up into an early shot there for a teammate. Zenova to follow it into the corner, looking to see if he can find a way out to one of his teammates. Gopher finds it, might find a way to just do it all himself, and he hits the double touch. Manages just to get it straight in front of the box and double touch it in for the first goal at the 31-second mark. Zenova in mid early. That one might be on too. O'Reilly, he's there though, ready to get it away the same way he's been all game long, just denying shot after shot along that back line. Zenova, it's back over towards mid. Gopher looking just to try and slip this one past. Zenova as well, looking to try and chase that one, but not quite able to find the shot. Quigon able to touch that back over to Gopher, who manages to kill it back into the Blues. And Nova getting bumped there on the defense. And the ball finding its way back towards net. Quigon not going to allow it to be uncontested for long. Looking for a shot himself. And it's back over towards the box where it's going to get smacked right in. And just like that, 2 goals to none. Nichols College now trailing by 2, a minute and 10 into the match. It's over now into the orange corner. Riley getting bumped there. The ball finding itself aerially high and now back over into the Wichita corner. Gopher looking just to try and touch this away. Quigon trying to see if he can come back to assist as well, but Wild to chase this ball over. And now it's back over towards Zenova, who finds himself with a wide open net, and that'll be a third. Nichols College perhaps getting a little bit desperate here, perhaps feeling the pressure of the scoreline adding up onto them. They're trying to find themselves an opening over onto this Wichita State goal, and so far they just haven't been able to find anything, and you gotta imagine that is causing the stress to build and build for them. Quigon finds it back over, and it's going to get touched away off his hood as he gets bumped away there by an aggressor. Riley wants to try and open up this shot himself. Back over now into the orange corner. Riley finds the ball, gets it deep over here into the orange again, and he's just trying to maintain control right now. But finally, the Wichita State, they're able just to touch it away. Gopher, an additional touch to get it deeper now into the Nichols College side, and Zenova, he wants to just try and set this down. It finds its way dropped in front of the box, but it's not quite there yet. Quigon trying to find a way to find this back over towards the goal, and Gopher gonna shoot one over. It's denied fast there by Riley and Wild, and now it's back over into the blue corner. Zenova gonna back up. Does not want to allow that goal to be unguarded for long, and Gopher seeing an opportunity, but also seeing that a blue side player gets demoed, has a little bit of time to regroup here, try to fight back in. Tuna wants to fight the shot, and Quigon not going to allow him to even get a touch before that ball gets bumped away. And now you're seeing it's over into this orange corner now. Wild going to stop it from escaping the orange side of the pitch. 2 minutes to go. 3 goals necessary for Nichols College to get themselves back into an overtime situation. And right now, nobody on the Wichita side is looking to concede even one. Right now, the ball finds its way back over into a 50. Tuna and Quigon, it's back over towards box. Gopher, a nicely placed shot, but it's met into a crossbar and against Wild. It's touched away fast. And Riley, he wants to try and deny this, but the ball's past him. Gets touched away by Wild. Now over, Zenova trying to force the issue. He does, and Riley wants to get a touch on it. It ends up leaving the ball straight back over towards the net, and Zenova trying to get there to find its way over the line on the backboard, but Gopher doesn't even need it. Slaps in a very nicely placed shot from the corner to the top left of net. And just like that, with 80 seconds to go, Wichita State University now leading 4-0. Tuna a stop over into that orange corner. Gopher looking just to try and touch it away. It's back over into the blue now, and they want to try and force this issue straight over in front of the net. Zenova finding the ball, bumps it down over towards Quigon, back down over towards Gopher, and the ball once again back towards mid. Zenova looking just to try and clear this away as Wild tries to set up some sort of pass, but Zenova just going to play this patiently, takes the ball, starts to play it back over towards the ceiling, and Riley wants to just touch it away in time. Wild's there, touches it back over into the orange end. Riley with perhaps an opportunity to smack it a first, but it's touched away quickly, and now it's back over towards Quigon, who's not going to allow it to be too close to that net. It does get itself a little room up there against the box, but Zenova, he's just gonna kill it. Manages to kill off about 10 seconds there, just dribbling the ball on his hood. And now with 20 seconds left, unfortunately for Nichols College, this match is looking unsalvageable. Wichita State, the first two nail-biters to secure them the 2 goals right at the end, especially that game number 2. But now you're gonna see Nichols College, they do drop the match 0-3, and a very impressive showing out of the WSU side. Wow, some close games down on the pitch today. Maryland narrowly claiming a win in a 2.5-minute overtime game 5 against Florida Atlantic University. And Wichita State, they come out with a clean sweep against Nichols, but those games, the first 2, so close that you really couldn't tell who was going to win until the very end. So congratulations, of course, to Wichita and Maryland, but we certainly know that Nichols College and Florida Atlantic University are going to come back and show us where they can pull off these wins, because we know that all 12 of these players are some of the best. But for now, that's all we've got. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you next week.